Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this Friday meditation for Meditation Online New York. My name is Alan Wary. I had a problem last night because it seemed to be working well, but then the video disappeared and people said they couldn't exactly follow it all the way through. Anyway, it turns out to be some problems with the Facebook Live technology. I'm glad to hear because I'm usually quite technically incompetent. So anyway, enough of that, and let's begin our meditation. By the way, in case you ever wonder why is it I always play Indian music, well, there's a reason, and it's this. If I play, for example, Mozart or Vivaldi, which I like, and it's very conducive to good meditation, Facebook and YouTube won't let it go up because it's all copyright, and they have these sophisticated algorithms that can tell which LP it comes from. So these are, what I tend to play is this Indian classical music, which I love anyway, but that passes muster and we can use it. So that's why. So let's just sit with our feet slightly apart, and welcome to dear Rena, who's a friend of mine. She's an artist from Manhattan. So let's just put our feet slightly apart and raise our Kundalini. And give ourselves a bandhan. So let our attention go to the base of our spine. And we can speak to our Kundalini energy, our individual mother, if you like, which is in the sacrum bone. And let's ask for the four qualities of the Muladhara chakra, the chakra on which the whole system of subtle energy is built. So we can say, please make us pure and innocent. Please give us wisdom and auspiciousness. Please make us pure and innocent. Please give us wisdom and auspiciousness. So depending on the state we're in, we should be able to feel on our hands a nice cool breeze in the center of our palms. I can feel that on both hands, but I can feel tingling on my left thumb and also on my right thumb. Now there are three parts to each chakra. If I felt tingling on the left thumb, there would be something amiss on the left side of the second chakra, the Swadhisthana. And if it was on the right thumb, the problem would be on the right side of the Swadhisthana. That it's both means it's the center. 3 parts to each chakra. So we can look down, and just below our belly button, if we take our right hand and we draw little clockwise circles 2 or 3 inches away from our body, and we can say, please clear my center Swadhisthana. Excellent. So the tingling should be gone from our thumbs. I can also feel it on both index fingers. So the index finger relates to the Vishuddhi chakra, which is at the base of the throat. And the fact that it's both means the little catch relates to the center. So same thing with our right hand. If we just draw little circles just near the base of our throat, and every now and again, as if you were pulling something out, just pull something and throw it away. And say, please clear my center Vishuddhi. We can also say an affirmation which will help. We can say, keeping our attention at the base of our throat, please let me be the detached witness. Please let me be part and parcel of the whole. This quality of detachment is a key one that develops when you do Sahaja meditation. It means that when people say things or do things that would normally upset you, push your buttons, now you have a choice. You may react, but you also have a choice not to. And invariably when you don't respond to somebody's provocation, they lose their power over you. So please let me be the detached witness. And in saying, let me be part and parcel of the whole, we're actually saying, please let me be part of the collective consciousness and the collective unconscious. It's like when the drop becomes the ocean. So now let our attention go to the top of our head, and we'll just sit in meditation for a couple of minutes. So while we remain in this state of thoughtless awareness with our attention at the top of our head, I'd like to play you just a part of a talk that Srimataji gave in London on the 14th of September in 1990. And by the way, this was the talk, this is the first time I ever came to Sahaja Yoga, and this was the talk that she gave. So we'll play a wee bit of it now. So let's watch it in meditation. The beginning is cut. She always began these public programs by saying, "I bow to all the seekers of truth."
At the very outset, we have to know that truth is what it is. We cannot organize it. We cannot mold it. Also, we cannot know it at the stage when we are human beings. With human awareness, we cannot know it. So we have to become a superhuman being, a higher personality. What is said that you have to be the spirit. You have to be the self. In all the scriptures, in all the religion, it has been said that you have to be the spirit. And when we see the turmoil and the problems of the world that are completely show us clearly that there is so much of a mess, and most of them are the problems created by human beings, we have to do some introspection and some soul searching. And we have to find out, after all, why we human beings have created all these problems for ourselves. We have had philosophies, we have ideologies, we have so many kinds of enterprises, but despite that, there are so many differences, and the differences are having larger and larger gaps. If it is the truth, it has to be the truth for everyone. Everyone has to say, this is the truth. But it has to be the absolute truth. If it is not the absolute truth, then what we believe into is not the reality. And this is the main reason why everything in the name of God, divinity, everything has failed so far, because it is not substantiated by reality. First we must feel the reality. And what is the reality? And what is the truth? The truth is that you are the spirit. You are the pure spirit. And that there is all-pervading power of divine love, which does all living work. Now we see all these beautiful flowers, beautifully arranged, everything. But we never think how so many flowers have come out of one seed, how it has worked. This living work is done by whom? We'll say the Mother Earth, but Mother Earth seems to be a jad thing, it's just a thing that is just a matter. Then how these flowers have sprouted from a little seed? Who has done this work? We don't even think who has done the job of making us human beings from amoeba stage. So for a hypothesis, let us think there is something, some power that is doing it. As scientists, you must keep your minds open. There's no use having blind faith in me, in Sahaja Yoga, in anything. Because blindness will never give you reality. But you should be open, like scientists are, and whatever hypothesis I am putting before you, you have to feel it on your central nervous system. This is what is the Bodha, is what is Buddha preached about, that you have to feel the all-pervading power on your central nervous system. And the time has come. Time has come for all of you to feel that. You all can feel that all-pervading power, the power of the Holy Ghost, power of the primordial mother. And then once you are in connection with that, like this instrument, when it is connected to the mains, it has a meaning. Your self-knowledge will tell you what is the meaning of your life. Otherwise, there is no meaning. We are without any connections to the reality, and that's why we do not know where are we drifting, what is happening to us, where are we going. Now I verily say to you that within us lies this instrument. And this instrument is very well intact in all of you. Now there are some people who have written books after books which have really shocked me, saying that it's very dangerous to raise the Kundalini. Some people have said that Kundalini is in the stomach. Shows they are unauthorized people, or perhaps they do not want you to have your self-knowledge. They want to deviate you. Also you will find people who will tell you that you should not do this Kundalini awakening and all that because very dangerous and this brings problem. Not at all. This Kundalini, which is in 3.5 coil, is an energy of pure desire within you. All other desires rise within us, and once we achieve them, we still are not satisfied. We are going from one desire to another. So the law of economics says that in general, desires are not satiable. So this is the only power which has to rise and give us that pure desire that once we achieve it or once we manifest it, then all the desires become absolutely of no value. Then this madness of desire goes away and we understand all these transitory things, all these pleasures of life with its full limitations. And we know how far to go with them. But first we must seek the eternal. We must seek this all-pervading power, which is very subtle and is all around us. But as human beings are, as you must have seen here also, on top of your head here is, on one side is the yellow ego, on the left side is your super ego, is your conditionings. And we have so many conditionings in our mind. To say that I'm an Indian and you are British or you are this and you are that is a condition. God never created world like that. He created only one world. We have made it like this. This is the one world, this is another world, this is another nation. That's it. We human beings have done created problem for us. Of course, He did create rivers and mountains, and He did create different type of people. Otherwise, we all would have looked like some military junta. But no, He made us differently. We look different. That was His idea, to create beauty. While we have such conditionings, from the very childhood we have conditionings of this kind, then we think we are born in a particular religion. So that is one another horrible conditioning we have, that we are in this religion, so we must follow this religion. But in Sahaja Yoga, when you come, you will be amazed to see that those people who started all these religions are the real people. And once they started it, after some time it drifted into something extremely nonsensical. And now running away from religion also, you cannot solve the problem, or running towards is just the same. So what is it that you have to go beyond all these conditionings that are there, and also beyond your ego. Now the ideas about ego are also prevalent, and people say that these are our karmas, we must suffer. I know of so many people who say that. Mother, what about karmas? Now the yellow stuff that you see there is the ego. It's the only human beings think that they have done some bad karmas or good karmas. Animals don't think. They are under the complete control of God. That's why they are called as pashu. Means pash, completely controlled. A dog is a dog, a scorpion is a scorpion, and tiger is a tiger. They behave the way they are. But human beings are everything in them. You may find somebody as a very nice dog and suddenly becomes a snake. Now from where does it come in? It comes because still all these conditionings that are within us are built in, and then also this ego that has come into us, that I am doing this work, I am doing that work. Now see, we have a beautiful hall, of course, to be appreciated very much, and we should say that it's a very good piece of art or whatever it is. But something like a tree was dead, so we have made this platform from dead to dead. We have done no living work whatsoever. We cannot do it. But when the Kundalini rises, you'll be surprised in many people who have problems on their centers. You can see with naked eyes the pulsation. Under your hand you can see the pulsation of the Kundalini rising, and you can feel the pulsation on top of your head here. And when the pulsation disappears, you feel the cool breeze coming out of your head, out of your own head. All these things are to be verified. There cannot be pretensions about it. Reality stands by itself. It does not need any support. So when all this happens to you, what you get? The self-knowledge. And what is the self-knowledge? Is to, first of all, to know about your own centers. Now a person gets lunatic without knowing that he's getting lunatic. A person gets cancer without knowing he's getting cancer. Whatever happens to him, he does not know what is happening to him. He has to go to doctor, spend a lot of money, everything, and then the doctor certifies, no, you have these 10 diseases in you. And that now you'll die after 1 month or so. You don't know how it has developed in you, how it has come suddenly to you. But when these centers are out of gear, then you feel this is wrong with you, that is wrong with you. Because you are realized soul, and you can feel it on your fingertips when the centers tell you that this is wrong with you. This is not only on physical side. Physical side is the minimum that you get. But you find out about emotional side. You find out about your spiritual side also. Very clearly that spiritually where are you? Just to certify yourself that we are twice born people, or we are this and this, is misleading yourself. You have not been kind to yourself, I should say, and not honest to yourself. We have to be honest. We have to find the truth. And we have to get to it, because it is our own. This is our right to have it as human beings, and you cannot pay for it. One thing, if you understand, you cannot pay for it, you will understand what is reality. Like the seed you plant in the Mother Earth, how much do we pay to Mother Earth? How much did we pay to Christ? How much did we pay to Rama or Krishna? To any one of them, how much did we pay? But those who are now commercialized all these ideas, we are just getting lost into it. So you have to little bit have a soul searching and find out, where am I? I have to find the truth. And I must get to it. This is the time that the whole world has to emancipate. This is the resurrection time. Or we can call it, this is the last judgment. But you will be judged by your own Kundalini, who is your mother. She doesn't trouble you. When you were born, your mother took up all the trouble, all the labor pains upon herself. She didn't trouble you. In the same way, this Kundalini doesn't trouble you. And she's anxiously waiting. I'm myself amazed the way these days the Kundalini is rising. Of course, today we have so many people, I'm sure you all will get realization. But in a place like Paris, where I never had such hopes, 1,000 people getting realization, I was amazed at that. And all of them full of joy, laughing. I've never seen French women laughing that much. They've never laughed normally. And I was amazed that all their cheeks were up there, up to their eyes. And I said, what's the matter? They said, well, I don't know from where this joy is going. That's the quality of the spirit, that you start feeling so joyous. And the joy doesn't have the duality of happiness and unhappiness. It's singular. You just feel it from within yourself. You enjoy yourself. Please, after. Right? Is he a Sahaja? You're not a Sahaja, then please don't take my photographs, all right? Please. So, then another quality of the spirit is that when it comes into our attention, the light of the spirit comes into our attention. Like supposing this room is completely dark. We don't know how we relate to each other, where we are sitting. If we start walking, we might tumble over other people, we may try to trample some people. But if there is light, you see, you know where you are sitting, where others are sitting, what is your chair, what is their chair. So in that light of spirit, we develop a new awareness, a new dimension, which we call as collective consciousness, which is described by Jung very clearly. Jung has talked about this, and that is what happens to you. It is not a false thing that, oh, I am collectively conscious. No, it happens to you. Means you can feel the chakras of another person, you can feel what's wrong with him, and you know how to correct it. Under your hand itself, the Kundalini will rise. You get the powers. You get your own powers to raise the Kundalini and give realization. I mean, now I cannot go all over the places. Sahaja yogis are doing this work. You all get those powers of raising the Kundalini and giving realizations to others, so that they find their own self, their own spirit. So the absolute knowledge can be only known through self-realization, because whatever you want to ask, like a computer, the answer comes in. There is somebody who met me in Paris. He said, I don't believe in God. I said, all right, you ask a question to me. Mother, is there God? Stretch the hand towards me. Ask the question 3 times. Mother, what's happening? This food is coming. I said, the answer has come. There is God. So absolute knowledge is only possible when you know the absolute truth. And to have the absolute truth, you have to go to the absolute being within you, which is your spirit. So it gives you the truth, it gives you the collective consciousness. But the main thing is that you become extremely peaceful personality. You become peace. You emit peace. It's like the wheel. That the wheel at the periphery is moving very fast, but in the center of the wheel is the axis. It has to be silent, otherwise cart won't move. And you jump onto that point within yourself where you are completely peaceful with yourself, completely integrated, without any tension, without any problems. And these other ideas of removing tensions, this thing, that thing, are all artificial and mental. It cannot be mental. It is beyond mental. When the Kundalini rises, as you see there, this is the center in the optic chiasma, Ajna Chakra. When it crosses that center, then these two institutions are sucked in. And she passes through the limbic area and comes out of your fontanelle bone area, which is the actualization of your realization. Also in India they call it Brahma Sambandha and other, but all kinds of nonsense has been done in that name, everywhere, in every religion. So now for it is absolutely evident for people to see that we have to get to that stage. And you have all the properties, all the possibilities, everything within yourself to get to. Today there are so many people, and they have already told you a lot about it, and you can also read about it. I mean, this all knowledge is endless. I think in English language itself I must have spoken at 4,000 tapes must be there, which you can always get and listen to them. But first thing is that room has got all these lights and everything. And when we come in,
so let's just stay in meditation for a few minutes. So let's slowly open our eyes and raise our Kundalini and give ourselves a bandhan. So I see that Lavanya and Joe and Rahul and Tanya have joined us too. That's an amazing talk. Very, very powerful. And I wish I could have played all of it. So that night when I drove home, I just knew my life had changed, but I couldn't begin to fathom or understand the depth of the changes that would happen. About 3 months later, the leader of Sahaja Yoga in England, a very nice guy called Dr. David Spiro, came up to me and he said, "You know that program that you went to in Hammersmith Town Hall?" He said, "How many people do you think are still coming to Sahaja Yoga?" I said, "I don't know." He said there was 1,000 new people there. I said, "Okay, so maybe 200? He said, "Just you." And I was astonished. But that's how hard it is for some. So thank you for being with us. Please tell your friends, and especially those that you think might like to learn to meditate. This is a very powerful technique. Have a good evening and a really good weekend. Good night.